Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Woo, sir. How we doing? Manchester United 0, Manchester City 2, sir. The derby, another dark day. Quite a way to end the farewell tour, if it is the farewell tour, but it was more of the same. Some ways, like as damning as a Liverpool match, sir. It could have been as ugly if it wasn't for David De Gea's heroics. How you feeling? That was just like a tough watch early gut punch, just like putting you to sleep, putting you under the sword. How we feeling?
So we're going to, up front, we're going to do an explicit warning.
Explicit.
There will be colorful language in this podcast. Alex and I have not discussed the match at all, and I think we're going to have to use a few words here. Sorry, I mean, the game plan was to play like shit and win. You know, Ole told the boys, you know, the keys to concede early. Look disorganized, trick Man City to think that we're not good, and then come back roaring in the second half. And we never saw that. It was City didn't break a sweat. They ran the show. You play the 7 defenders. You play like I'll tell you, it starts with the lineup. You wake up, you see that, you're like, Ole has some fucking balls to put that lineup out, man. Like, honestly. It's just, he puts that out and we concede like that. And it's like, we look that horrible. Oh my God, dude. It's like unbelievable. It's like the fact that he was not sacked after Liverpool shows you that this board has no clue what they're doing. Like, all the fans, you were at the game, you knew it was over. We knew it was over. But for some reason, this horrible farewell tour continues, playing the same thing over and over again. Not looking good. It looked good against Tottenham, and boy, they fired their manager. They're that shit. Like, it's not rocket science to tell you that, like, we look at a source with a back 4. We look at a source with a back 5. Everyone looks at a source. Ole looks like he has no ideas on the bench, and that's why you fire the manager, sir. You got to get someone else in. Need new fresh ideas. These players. Imagine taking a Manchester United player out of their training session, whatever the fuck they're doing, like whatever the hell we do. To train, to prepare, and put them in Man City. It'd be like putting them on Mars.
I mean, sir, we know the indictment. You know, it's like a foregone conclusion on this side of the pond in terms of, like, it's time for Ole to go. The board, who don't have their fingers on the pulse, we've talked about that a lot. So they see that score line, they're like, hey, we didn't lose that bad. We only lost by 2 goals. You're like, they're not watching the game, but you watch this game, and it was as bad as Liverpool in many ways. Like, they didn't sweat. Liverpool didn't sweat. The difference in class and style of play and intent and whatever, football and philosophy, but, like, you saw nothing from United. You saw something from City, even though they never broke a sweat, like you said. The amount of times we gave the ball in the first half, De Gea coming up with like 4 worldies in 10 minutes. It's just, we know it. The change has got to be made. Like you said, started with the formation, back 3, and you play McFred again when you have to play against a high press City. It's like, dude, of course it doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work. It never works. It never works. Why would it work today? Donny van de Beek. Sir, I don't even know. Sir. We know the change has to be made. It's so obvious you watch this team, but, like, front office, this is the time to do it. You know, if you gave them the 3 games, I get it. I guess I get it, right? An international break, but this is when you got to do it, sir. Monday, Tuesday, they got to be moving. But hey, that's what I thought when I was heading back from Manchester. But are they going to make a move in the next couple of days? I doubt it.
Dude, like I said, I was trying to present that narrative on the last pod, which is kind of like the acceptance line, where it's just like, look, man, we're going to have to watch this. Like, Ole's out of his depth. This team's like, it's weekend at Bernie's, honestly. Ole's like weekend at Bernie's. He's like being propped up by like CR7 last minute winner. It should have been 3 losses. You know, we should be like even worse than the league if not for David De Gea. I mean, like, you can see it's just papering over the cracks. The fundamentals aren't there. We bring in a set piece coach. We look horrible on set pieces.
Horrible.
It's just, you bring in these great players, we look worse. Ole's favoritism getting worse. Like, Sancho being frozen out, makes no sense. Donny not being able to get a shot. Like, all the issues are like bubbling to the top. Locker room drama, everything. Like we said, that's why you have to make the change. I couldn't explain to you why in the past Ole's played so well against City, and then now he can't come up with anything. Like, and that just shows you the fall from grace. Because like Ole used to be able to play really defensive, hit City on the counter. We played with the back four. Like Dan James featured quite a lot in those games. Like there was some semblance of a game plan. We were organized, pragmatic, and we actually were able to beat them. And that's something that other managers struggled with, like Jose Mourinho struggled with, LVG struggled with, but we did well. Ole did well in the past. So, but you have to look at the fall from grace. It's like the team's lost confidence. He's lost confidence. He's making moves that don't even make sense tactically. And so that's kind of when you hit that lowest of low and everyone's kind of stopped believing in the Ole's at the wheel train. You got to move on just for that. And I couldn't explain it to you, but we looked horrific. Soft serve SC, nothing doing. That second half was just embarrassing. City knew they didn't even need to score. And they can't even finish. This is not even a good shitty. Like they didn't even play well. Like they should have scored like 4 or 5. It should have been 4 or 5-0.
No, it's because they love to pass the ball into the net. You know, like they're just like they have to pass it in. They had a lot of opportunities to do so. So we gave the ball away so freely in the first half. Second half, like you said, we had nothing doing. Looked like we were man down. Like we had nothing.
Fighting.
We looked like a different class of team. Like, hate to make that analogy, but like when the U.S. national team like years ago used to play like a big team and just like, you know, we didn't get a corner. We had 1 shot on net. We had 4 touches in the box. Like we were.
It showed a lot more heart, I'll tell you.
No,
like the U.S. men's national team won
today.
big games on heart. Like they literally just put everything in it. Everyone behind the ball just work hard. It's like if United did that, like fair play to them. But like we can't even do the Burnley well. You know what I'm saying? Like Burnley would do better. Dude, Villa beat us. Liverpool put 5. Like, I mean, like, the saddest part of it all is that Old Trafford was a fortress for our, like, pretty much when you and me started watching United in the early mid 2000s. It was just like no one beat you at home, and now people are just coming into the snack bar, sir. They're emptying that out. They come trick or treating at our house. We say, "Take one, please," and they dump the whole candy and leave. You know, that's how bad they're treating us at our house.
You know, it's like I said, if you're watching the team, if you're watching these games, you know you need to make a change. You know, it's like we're beating a dead horse because it's so obvious. But they're not watching. They're not paying attention. You think they see the result, us dropping on the table. We were about to. So Arsenal are going to be ahead of us. Arsenal. It's about time. It needs to be done. We could talk about why it's so obvious, or everyone knows why it's obvious. You watch that game, it was like, what the hell's going on? We have no clue, no plan. Day late, dollar short, no intent. I mean, I can't believe how much we gave the ball in the first half. It was more control in the second half.
Believe it, dude? How could you not believe we like the way we
I believe
play?
it. I've seen this. I was there, and it was the same
like,
as Liverpool.
But when we go forward, it's like way too much time on the ball, way too many touches. No one knows what to do with it. No one knows where they're supposed to be. And you look at City, and it's like in their sleep, they know Foden's making that run.
Yeah.
Like De Bruyne doesn't even need to look; he knows he's there.
I know.
Like when he passes it, he moves to the exact spot. The other player knows he has relief. He can go back. He can go forward. He knows exactly where they're going to be. They're so drilled. They're so structured. Their fitness level is so high. It's like they're on a different level. It's like MLS come into play. Like we're like MLS team. We need so many touches on the ball to be able to do anything. Everyone has to like pick their head up, take a touch, like hero ball. Like we don't have a plan. We don't know where anyone's going to be. Look at the average positioning of this team. It's just absolutely in shambles. And that's why you need a real coach. You need, whether it's the training, whether it's feeling an Ole contradicting the training midweek, whatever it is, sir, starts at the board, comes down to Eddie, 5 fingers, Woodward, still here. He's the one. The buck stops with him. Should have made the change after Liverpool. Oh, he's a genius. We're going to stick with our man. Conte goes to Spurs, and then we're just floundering. And then now we have international break to suffer through their shitty decision-making process, which will ultimately come to stick with Ole because we can't find anyone. The only person that can make sense would be Zidane, and he does like, who would want to touch this team with a 10-foot pole? Like, I don't know. If I was Zidane, I'd be like, I'm good.
It's gonna, so you know how it's gonna play out. But like, I think maybe they'll make a move, but it's gonna be the move that nobody wants. It's gonna be a big old Brendan Rodgers, like a big old Brendan Rodgers
not
soggy
even that.
bottom sandwich.
Not even that, honestly, because like it's going to be the same thing. Like when we sacked
He would
Mourinho,
jump. He'd be all about it. You kidding me?
we sacked Mourinho, and then we got Ole. It's going to be something like that. It's going to literally
Carrick.
It's like it's going to be like something. You can't even come up with how horrible of a move it's going to like, short of them like begging Zidane to come in.
I'll beg
Like,
him.
what are they going to come up with, dude?
No, they got nothing.
Are they going to pay Leicester like so much money for Rodgers? Like, no, they're not going to do that. They're going to do that at the end of the season, right? This team, this board, there's no urgency. So they're just going to come up with some like shit duct tape solution that's going to surprise us at like, oh my God. And we're just got to watch this slow motion train wreck till the end of the year. I mean, we're going to get a new manager bump no matter what. I think you're going to see Donnie. I think you're going to see Sancho. I think you're going to see all that. I mean, like, God help us if they do not make that move. I mean, the writing is on the wall, and to do it in the international break, I guess it's a positive. I don't know.
It's a good time to do it. You just have to do it, and you have to do it early in the break, so you have time to get them. Get the existing crew out, get the new crew in with the supporting.
It's got to be all the crew though. It's got to be
McKenna,
I know.
You got to do
Carrick,
you got to do
a
full
clean out.
Yeah, and dude, I mean, we got to get rid of. It's the front officer, it's the owners,
clear out.
Glazers,
owners,
Woodward, Murtaugh. What's the new guy's name? Richard Art. Like, he's a moron too. So they're all numpties. They're all just like doing whatever it takes to make sure the Glazers pull as much money out of this club as possible. They're still selling shares. They don't have their eyes on the ball. They should be making moves right now because top four is still up for grabs. The goalposts have shifted, but they are. It is. Right now it is, and it won't be in 3-4 months if we keep slipping and slipping. Sir, based on the way we're playing, we're going to lose to Arsenal. We're going to lose to Palace. We're going to
we're not predicting that. So we're going to win all those games.
Yeah, there you go. Just like we won this game. We killed them.
We're going to win all
those
them.
Games.
Sir, if you didn't laugh at the state of things, you'd cry. Like, you could say that so many times about this team. And also just like the fact that we've seen this movie before. We watched it against Liverpool. We watched it against Villa. We watched it against West Ham. We watched it against Villarreal. We watched it. How many Villarreal Atalanta like play like shit? Oh my God. We got something that we shouldn't have. How many times you got to watch that? How many times you got to watch like our rivals that we should be setting the benchmark to slap us around at home and absolutely embarrass us? It's like, how many times do we need to see? Like, they're just making us suffer. It really is hard to watch. Like you texted me, it's hard to watch seeing this movie over and over and over and recording this podcast like this over and over and over, sir. It's just like unbelievable. And the board and Woodward, they're the ones where they like haven't. He still got a chance.
Hey, man.
And this is like why it should be HD crystal clear to every Manchester United fan out there that the board and Eddie Woodward obviously are the problem here, is because they're the ones putting us through it. They're the ones putting Ole through all this bullshit. And it's so horrible to see somebody. And the only reason they're doing it is because they love Ole, Mr. Nice Guy, and they know he'll do whatever the hell they say. And they'd rather have control over the manager than worry about winning things. At Manchester fucking United, it's so perverse, sir. It's against everything about this club. The Busby Babes, sir. It's like you get emotional. 1968, Munich air disaster, rising from the ashes, Sir Alex Ferguson from Aberdeen coming down, the impossible dream, everything that this club represents, everything we support and absolutely love, sir. They take for granted, they take the cash, and they give us this bullshit, sir. We need elite management. We need elite decision-making, and this is day late, dollar short FC at the moment, and it's just absolutely embarrassing. And we're taking it, sir. We're taking it from all the other fans, from everyone around the world. It's just a shambles. We're a laughing stock, and this is a new low. This is absolutely a new low for Manchester United just because of the inaction. It's the ambition the board lacks. That's just absolutely embarrassing.
No, it's sir. We've waxed on and on with the same storyline over and over again because it's the same thing that's holding us back at the end of the day. It's like the decay, the decline started very directly underneath the Glazers, accelerated under the Glazers, right? Like they've made no astute decision making about putting the right decision makers in place, putting the right oversight in place, holding the right people accountable, and like the fact that Ed Woodward has the gall to think that like, oh, I don't want to pull out Solskjaer before I leave. And, I don't want to make it all about Solskjaer, but like, it's more about just pulling out the manager because clearly this is the worst football they played under Ole, like since the beginning. We're like consistently over the last 3 months, worst football we've seen with this manager. They need to make a change, sir. And the fact that like Woody's like, well, I don't want to like sour my legacy with this last thing I do is I pull out the manager. It's like, hey, dude, your whole tenure has been a fucking disaster. A disaster. You're just the most successful club in English history and like drove it into the fucking ground, have won nothing meaningful since the most accomplished manager in the history of the fucking Isles have left, like in the history of the game, bro. And you're like, oh, my legacy would be ruined if I hucked out the fourth manager that I put in since he retired, all of which have failed, mainly because there's no continuity between it. There's no front office, bro. John Murtaugh doesn't know what he's doing because he's the other yes man, sir. So we're going to continue to stagnate, to decline, and to suffer. As long as they own us, it will be the same shit, dude. They're not going to get real. Top four, maybe.
No. Of course not. And this is the one thing that, like, here at the American Red Devils, the line that we've towed the whole time is #Glazers out. And there's a lot of reasons for it, sir. But the cowardice that they've shown with their man, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they let Mourinho hang out to dry. They leaked stories in the press. They made him sweat it, dude. They let the pressers go full hardcore at Mourinho. They sacked him. Like, they did Mourinho dirty. And with Ole, they're toting out their boys, like in the pressers, asking them like real positive questions. They're embargoing tough questions that the press asks Ole. They're protecting. They're doing everything they can. Spin zone. They're having their boys tweet, the dressing room's great. Everyone's behind the manager. They're doing every single thing they can. They're thumbing the nose at it, sir. It'd be one thing to like let it happen and then like let the manager get criticism, see how he deals with it, communicate to the fans, tell them a clear vision, like, hey, we're going to give them 3 games. We think we owe them that, and the results will speak the truth. Like the management team, it's just like the spin zone, the fact they're thumbing the nose at the fans, and this team is like, it's not about winning an argument with us. It's literally about how this team can kick on to win things. Where are we? Like, so the urgency to win titles, the ambition needs to be set in stone. We're trying to win the league. We will do everything at all costs to do so. Just the way they're handling it is just so poor, piss poor. And that comes from Ed Woodward. Ed Woodward, like Super League failure, Ed Woodward, like resigned. Oh, just kidding. I'm going to stay another year. Yeah, Ed Woodward. I mean, this guy is absolutely a nut. Oh, yeah. Remember the riot outside of his house, Ed Woodward? Yeah, that guy. Where the press was already there. The press was already set up there.
So we have to
Neil
get used
Ashton
to it.
at the Guardian.
We have to get used to it. It's not going anywhere.
But the tricks of their trade, the tricks of Eddie Woodward's trade, the board, the way they've tried to spin things, it is just insane. It's just like, how about less focus on spin, more focus on trying to be an elite organization that wins things. You know what I'm saying? You can't spin a shit football club or shit football into a great result. It's like, it is what it is. Time to move on. Time to measure the success of this club as it always has been with silverware.
Sir, 20 minutes, baby. There you go. You feeling better? I know you're fired up, Bert. Sir, we're run by one of the worst front offices in football. Get used to it. Acceptance. You got to. I hear you.
I'm just mad because I lost my house.
You bet
I bet the house.
You bet the farm.
I bet the farm on us
plus
to win.
400.
Plus 400.
There's,
just kidding. I did not. But the game plan was to play shit football and win, sir. And if you wanted to hear this biased fan take from the couch, this passionate, fiery take, sir, we're pulling no punches here because it's a sad day for United fans. We hear everyone. If you're listening to this, you're the real MVPs.
Oof.
The real MVPs,
Sorry.
the real hardcore of hardcores. We appreciate you here at the American Red Devils. And, just one of those things that just like, it weighs heavy. Like, how is it watching these games? How is it watching the farewell tour?
You want to know? You want to know?
Yeah, I want to know.
And only in sex masochism, then it is allowed.
That's what it feels like, sir. Sex masochism. Sir, it's painful to watch this team. It is painful to watch the team that you love, like how go out there with like no plans, no ideas, and you're just like you actually feel bad because like we talked about this before in some of these pods in the last couple of weeks, or it's like this is bad for the brand, this is bad for the United as a firm, as a club, this is bad for Ole, his legacy, just like put him out of his fucking misery. And the reasons are I got the cursing. I'm not allowed to curse in front of my son anymore. Now he mirrors what we say, and my wife's yelling at me, so I'm gonna curse on the pod. That's all I got. I gotta curse somewhere. But it's like,
Not cursing the pots.
so you watch it and you're like, this is bad for United to get like just beat up by your rivals without them even like breaking a sweat. Scousers, now City, no idea FC, just like exactly like you said, favoritism's getting worse. Worst football we played under Ole. And just take him out of his misery, us out of our misery. It's just like, do him a favor, us a favor, new manager, interim manager, something, sir. They got to do something because right now it's just like you need to change something because it's a disaster. It's free fall, like you said. Sir, intro, baby. 20 minutes. Let's go. Hot take. Is it a hot take? Is it a hot take?
You really want to? The reason why the intro is long is because
Get it out.
You really
Get
want to
it
break
out.
down this game?
No, I
Hey,
don't.
I'm going to
No,
end it
yeah.
on this quote. I'm going to end Green Street Hooligans, sir. You know, great movie if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's like Manchester United, shit
Big
football,
club.
great shit football, great firm. You know, the fans, best in the world, singing the whole game. That's what it's all about, sir. They can't take that. The board can't take that. But everyone, you know, Glazers out when the Super League happens, and then all of a sudden we sign Ronaldo. Everyone's back behind it, buying everything, and it's like, oh, now we're back where we were. So it's like, got to get back on the hashtag Glazers out, make it known, because all the lies they made after that big protest, they said they're going to communicate, said they're going to do a lot of things, and they haven't done shit. So, you know, and by the way, we also said they weren't going to do shit. It's just all PR spin. There's no meat and potatoes behind it, but we all know that, sir. Quick PSA for the podcast. If you like our rantings and ravings here at the American Red Devils, sir, the darkest before the dawn, I don't know when we're going to hit it. On this podcast,
We
but it
keep
feels like it's
sliding, bro. We
close.
keep sliding.
You can support us on Patreon, www.patreon.com/AmericanRedDevils. We do not have any private sponsorships on this podcast. It's just us, supported directly by you, the fans. We think that is the way to go in 2021. We have a few tiers you can choose from. We're giving away pin stickers, scarves, shirts, you name it. Check it out. Also, check out our website, www.AmericanRedDevils.com. Amazing fan-generated blog content on there. Like we said, this platform, social media, everything is for fans, by fans. That is what we're all about. You want to write a blog, reach out to us, AmericanRedDevils@gmail.com. Also, click on store. We have new American Red Devils badge logo shirts. Also, our beanies are absolutely fire for winter, and our hoodies are incoming. So we will keep you posted on social. Sir, tell about iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews, great way to support the pod. Don't cost any money at all. And even better, we're sending out free swag if you send us a screenshot. This is all you have to do. Write a 5-star review on iTunes if it has cheeky banter, even better. We love it. We read it. Makes our days often. And send a screenshot of that 5-star review to AmericanRedDevils@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I will personally send you some stuff from our warehouse, sir. The finest. Great way to support the American Red Devils. Goes a long way, sir. You ready? You ready to break down this riveting match? Classic.
Sir,
Classic
yada,
derby.
yada,
Classic
yada,
yada,
yada.
something. You want
Yada,
to
yada, yada,
write to the
something,
presser? You want to write to the
Manchester
presser?
United.
You want to write to the presser?
No. Yada, 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 something. Manchester United 0, Man City 2. Old Trafford, we were at home, sir. Remember we used to beat them with McTominay scoring the goal in the rain right before COVID. Those are the times. Let's get into that lineup. Dave saves world number 1 in net. Shout out to David De Gea. Thank you for saving us. Back 3, Maguire by Lindelof. Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, wing backs. Fred, McTominay, midfield. Bruno, Ronaldo, and Greenwood up top, sir. I saw this lineup, and it was early. It was early, about 5:20 Pacific time. Blary-eyed, I checked the lineup, just laughed. I laughed. You just got to laugh. You're like, really? Okay. I bet you we're not going to concede in the first 20.
First 10, first 6.
I tweeted it out. I knew it was coming. It's like, you're going to give them that
course.
much of the ball?
Of course.
It's like, come on, man.
We couldn't
They
pass.
play
We couldn't
against
pass.
us all the time.
Couldn't pass for our life, sir. Can't pass, can't move, don't move, no, like just no ideas. Yeah, you see this, you're like McFred with the back 3. Didn't we try that and it didn't work like a week ago? Like 4 days ago? When did we try? Didn't we just do that and it like didn't work at all? So yeah. I was concerned.
So, yeah.
I was concerned. I don't know about you. Were you concerned? I was pretty concerned.
I just said, okay, like prove me wrong. Like Ole's like got, he's got, like I said, he's got some big cojones to play this. And like I said, okay, prove me wrong. Prove me that this cast of characters is going to be defensively organized and well drilled. Sir, let's get into the first half. Take us through it.
City come out in the front foot with United just giving the ball away. I couldn't believe how much we gave the ball away in this first half, sir. Actually, we had an early chance. Maguire, great in-swinging ball from Shaw. Can't get it on target. He had another good chance in this half. Didn't get it on target. Poor Maguire. 7th minute, sir. Here we go. City.
Porque fue muy fuerte el servicio de Walker. Qué buena pelota puso Walker al área. Cancelo con este centro. ¡Gol! ¡Gol!
So Eric Bailly own goal. I mean, it was coming. United were just like, we had just cleared the ball, and then another chance comes in, and just disorganized defending, like you said, inviting pressure based on the formation itself, based on our inability to play out the back, based on the slow rate of play, slow rate of passing, just no movements, or it was like a foregone conclusion. We could see, you're like, of course we did, of course. I laughed at it. You left the lineup. I laughed. We could see it, bro. I was like, yep. There you go. They don't get to score on us. We score on ourselves. Own goal from Bailly. That's how the day started.
No, it's just like we're so poor. You couldn't even tell them not to concede in 10 minutes. Like I said, first 20, like lock it down, get the crowd behind you, and Old Trafford put in a challenge, something. Like we can't even you play 7 defenders, you concede in 7 minutes. I mean, this is just why Ole is like out of ideas, bro. Like he's just playing this shit, playing it, like got nothing. It's like you think like you could switch, like Atalanta away, you gotta play the back 4. Like they're an open team, you got totally, the quality, totally. You gotta get at them. Like you need to win. It's like that's the game to go for, and he played the back 3. I mean, that's how he's out of it.
So that's a different game. I mean, this game alone, it was like you play the back 3, but you change it to the midfield because the midfield can't pass through that City midfield. That City
I agree.
press.
No, but hear me out, sir. It's like we know the team that's coming to Old Trafford. We played them multiple times, right? Yep. Ole's beat Pep multiple times. How did he do it? Did he do it playing a back 3? No, he didn't do it playing a back 3. He did it playing a back 4 because at the end of the day, you need enough attacking players and creative midfielders to be able to hold the ball and pass through the lines to alleviate the pressure. Otherwise, it's just wave after wave after wave. You've seen City play Burnley, and it's just like they eventually get it. And then after they get it, okay, 7th minute, now we need a goal, right?
Yeah.
But instead, it looked like he left McFred in there because he was just trying to stop the bleeding because he's just worried about his job and he's not worried about the title or the table, sir. It's like this is where Ole started putting his job ahead of what's good for the club. And I don't agree with how he should have been much more aggressive here. You got to go for a point or all 3. And it's just McFred. There's no excuse, sir.
Sir, we're out of ideas, sir. So hey, we're beating dead horses. Obviously, Ole, he ain't got ideas. 26th minute, Ronaldo had a great first time effort. Only chance we had all day. Shaw put a decent ball in. Greenwood probably should have scored the rebound.
Greenwood had a horror.
He not have a good game. Cavani finished. Cavani scores. Sir, Ronaldo hits the target, and then Cavani finishes. Like you'd love that goal, because that, like I said, that was the only chance we had the entire game. That was it. And then it was the David De Gea show, sir. Vintage David De Gea. He was pissed because it was like, what the hell is going on? 29th minute. Great tip over the top, and then they come right again, and he makes another amazing save, sir. Dave saves, double save. He had a couple of those. Keep going. Third minute. Dave makes a great save on a Lindelof effort on goal. That was my favorite. Like a second own goal attempt from Lindelof. Like a foot save and debut from De Gea. A minute later, double save in the box. Saving on not Bruno, Bernardo, sir. Like vintage stuff. Like honestly. De Gea is back to his best. How'd you feel after this little? It was unbelievable how many chances they had. Like I said, it could have been 4-0. It could have been like the Liverpool game in this first half.
Sir, he's earning those wages. De Gea looks good. I think that's been one of the biggest positives this season. He looks like in great form again. But sir, I mean, like all that's for naught, right? 40th minute, Ronaldo had a decent effort. Which was very forgettable. And then, sir, this is where, I'm coming in extra spicy. It's because of this. It's because of the 45th.
I mean, it's brutal. Here we go.
Para Cancelo, la quiere Gabriel Jesús, abierto por izquierda, el centro, al segundo palo.
I can't. To watch all three of those defenders, just 1, 2, 3, Shaw not keep running, and then just like, beat far post.
Dude,
beat far. How many times have we been beaten at the far post? That goal. How many of those we've conceded that goal so many times?
sir, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, I know.
I like. You want me to really go in hard? You want me to really?
I think you
like,
came out hard, sir. You came out hard.
You want me to go in on this one? It's like
have
David De Gea is just like all over the place, playing it. Like if one person was playing his heart out, it's De Gea. He's like, "Y'all defenders, come on, let's go." He's like, "Sir, talk about captain material, right? Playing like, and then you have these numpties. Like honestly, Shaw and Maguire have been playing horrifically bad, and and that's why even today I couldn't believe Telles wasn't brought in for Shaw. Like I couldn't believe that Ole didn't try to play the back two with like Bailly and Lindelof. It's been that bad for Maguire and Shaw on the left, and then this is why it's just like shut off schoolboy errors. We've seen it for the last 4 games straight. He's got like Maguire, don't get it twisted. Like against Atalanta, against Liverpool, you can go down the list. They've just been playing bad. Now they're not bad players.
No,
they're not bad players. Luke Shaw, Maguire, you see him in England. They're great players. Luke Shaw is a great football player. I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying like similar to the board, he needs to take Ole out of his misery. Ole needs to take these guys out of their misery because they are out of form. Call it the Euros, whatever it is. They are not sharp. And this is just embarrassing. Embarrassing. It's 1 goal. You got to go in at half, down 1, and then like they just switch off, and it's just a lazy goal to give up. And that's where there's no excuses. There's no excuses for that level of effort at this point in a Manchester derby. You're trying to get it at halftime. Okay, you gave up an own goal. You got to hold everything on the line until that whistle, and these players just look like they don't care. And then that's why I think everyone's so upset.
No, and that's fair. Also, it's also exasperated by the fact that like De Gea made 5 saves in 5 minutes, bro. 5 like really, really good. A couple of them were like definitive goal saving saves. At least 2 to 3 of them. So it's like you do all that, and that's just as lazy of a goal as you could possibly concede.
Yeah,
great
as a fan,
ball.
I'm
No,
so
it's
pumped for De Gea. Like,
Yeah,
thanks for keeping us in it.
Yeah,
Like,
thanks.
dude, like thanks for keeping us in it. There's a chance. Like, you're only got 1 goal. Like, we had that Greenwood opportunity. Like, yeah, it like I said, shit football, but like somehow Ole pulls it out. And it's like you really need that last ditch defending. Like you got to be switched on. I've just seen Maguire and Luke Shaw switch off so hard. That first goal, Atalanta away, just like both of them.
No, we've
It's
seen
just
that
so
goal
horrible.
over and over again, sir.
Every game at this point, like how many games straight? I mean, obviously not Tottenham, but like every time
Cares.
that,
Tottenham.
but like, every time these two are just right now, they don't have it, and they need to be like benched or something. Like you saw that with Sir Alex. Players need to be benched. Players need to be benched.
And he rides the same 11, dude. And the favoritism is like worse than ever. Like he rides the same players, doesn't use his bench. His bench, there's a lot of good players waiting to play. There's a lot of players that are like probably looking to leave because they're not getting enough minutes. Or this is bad. Sir, heading into half. How you feeling? How you feeling heading into half? What do you think Ole's telling the boys to get him up? I don't want to go into a diatribe. I can do that later.
No. That's the death. The game's
over. So
Game
the game's
over.
over,
Yeah,
so.
that 45th minute goal in that fashion, like don't give a fuck, like concede. It's like second half, sir. Let's go through. Sancho came on for Bailly. Let's go to the back 4 now. City come out cruising. Nothing. We just got subs. Rashford for Greenwood. Telles for Shaw, who had a concussion, but he didn't get taken out. That's a sensitive subject. I think he looked like he got hit in the head pretty bad.
He did.
He should have been out.
He should have been out. That was bad.
You got to feel for him there. Hope Luke Shaw feels better. 80th minute sub.
Donnie gets a tenner. Donnie gets a tenner.
Finally.
He gets
like,
10 minutes. You give him 10 minutes, bro.
You talk about Sancho coming in for Bailly. Donnie has to come in.
Exactly.
You need 2 goals.
Oh my God.
It's like you got to
what are
go
you doing,
for it.
dude? What are you doing?
And then obviously, whatever. It's 2-0. City, we lose. Stats are,
we
stat-
lose.
okay.
We
Stat
lose.
stat sheet is
These stats are
embarrassing.
bad.
16 shots for City to our 5, 5 on target to our 1. By the way, we had 2 shots on target on our own goal. Sure, everyone saw that on social media. Passed off the pitch, 821 passes in our house to our 389, sir. We are horrid, absolutely dog shit. XG, Manchester United 0.78 to City's 2.02. Could have been worse, honestly. Match reaction: Eric Bailly is the first Premier League, first Manchester United player to score an own goal in the Manchester Derby in the Premier League. Wow, great stat. And Manchester City completed 73 passes in their win over Manchester United, the most any team has completed in a Premier League match against the Red Devils since 03-04, when past stats were starting to be recorded.
So we've never been dominated. We've never been dominated. No one's ever passed as many passes because we look like we got a player sent off in the 6 minutes, sir. This is like a game where like we look like we were man down the entire game. Different class, sir. Different class.
Like, you'll hear from Roy Keane. Men versus boys. It was men versus boys. It was
bad. Bro.
This was worse than the Why Always Me. Honestly, this is just like there's no point for us being out there. The player, the second half of this game, it was worse.
Look at these stats, sir. The last stat is insane, sir. The last stat on these stats is like I was like, what?
United are without a clean sheet in the last 14 home games. That sucks. And United only had 4 touches inside City's box today, the lowest since that stat started to being tracked.
So we got a couple lowest since the start. That's never good, sir. Lowest since the beginning.
Since recorded history.
That's bad.
So we're witnessing the new low. But the thing is, it's just like
new low.
Nobody. It's like, can you blame the players? It's like,
yeah,
you can blame the players. You can blame the defending, but it's like nobody has a clue what to do. Like sometimes pressing, like Ronaldo would like wave people on, and like that half-ass press up there that just gave City more space to like try to. It's like what is going on that? Like what? But we're not pressing. We're supposed to be defensive and counter. And then like all of a sudden Ronaldo and Bruno by themselves would decide to press, and then Fred would kind of half come, and they would just create more space. But it's like I know. Nobody knows what the hell is going on.
I know.
Nobody has.
I watched it. It was brutal.
It's just like
I know.
Scrambled eggs, sir. Speaking of scrambled eggs, let's listen to what our manager has to say.
A nervousness about your players, a lack of confidence. Did that show?
Yeah, I think I think the whole place went a little bit. Of course, you're disappointed with the first goal, but we didn't play well up until then either, because we still don't trust ourselves with the ball. We still don't pass the ball as well as I know they can. So, and we don't find the angles. And sometimes that is also the team you play against. As I say, they do press really well, and they made it hard for us. But we sometimes made the wrong solution, sometimes the right solution, but not the right execution.
Sir, if the board is watching this, if they're watching the game, watching that presser, they're like, all right, this sucks. We got to make a move. And I'm not sure they are, but it's pretty obvious that, like, teams lost confidence in the manager. Fans have lost confidence in the manager. The manager's lost confidence in the manager, sir. He does not look confident. Even though he's a nice guy, he looks like he knows it, bro. He's like, he's like Liverpool, okay. Spurs, fighting back, fighting around the world. Atalanta, barely got a point. And then today, just like to never even have a sniff of the game. Not even for an inch. Not even for a second were we in this game. Sir, he knows it because he's like, yeah, of course I should get sacked. He's not going to say it, but he knows it. And we're, I would still think, like, is it better than 50% chance this week? You would think. But who knows, sir? Who knows?
Unfortunately, nobody knows, brother. Nobody knows. I don't think the Glazers are watching. Honestly.
No, they're not. Dude.
You know who we can listen to in these tough times? They bring in Roy Keane for the Derby. It's like it's
called
like I said,
two-footed punditry, bro. Two-footed punditry.
There's a reason why I got a photo of Roy Keane on my wall, bro. And it's like, I mean, everything United is and what it should be is embodied in how he played for United, and it's just like we are so far gone from that right now. The social media apologies, etc. It's like, give me what Roy Keane had to say.
And now Manchester City, beaten both times. Yes, it was 5 goals against Liverpool. Could you argue that this was a more dominant performance, a more controlled performance from City?
It felt worse. I think the goal in half-time, of course, game all over. City, different type of team to Liverpool. They were quite happy just to keep the ball, and they just toyed with United. Really, it's so poor. The difference in class, quality, decision-making, everything. It was, I know the old saying, it was men v boys, but United are so off it. It's unbelievable. You know, 4 dimensions there. It's a tough place to come. It's not. Ask Everton, ask Aston Villa, ask Liverpool. Teams have come here. They're getting a bit of joy now. I know United's away record over the last couple of seasons has been fantastic, but ultimately it's what you do at home that gives you that foundation to try and compete and go on and win trophies, because United still always have the quality even away from home. But their home form, their performance, the goal at half-time has killed it, you know. United just need to go in a half-time 1-0, regroup, try and do something. The second goal, it's game over. And United, I don't know what I'm going to say. It's just so poor. It's just so poor. And again, we go back to what I look for characters. McTominay, Fred. McTominay, no, he's learned his trade. Fred is in midfield. No, these players aren't good enough for Manchester United. Defensively, even the first goal, I wasn't shocked when Bailly just sliced that into it. He's got that in him. He's erratic.
So that's brutal. It's brutal because he feels the same way. I have another one if you want more brutality, but you tell me. But like, sir, he's right. He's right. We all know it. We all see it. Men versus boys. McFred ain't good enough. No shit. No shit.
You got to play the second one.
All right, here we go. More. It was double kick in the nuts.
Actually, no, I'd like to go in hard on the United players, but today I'm actually feeling sorry for them. I think some of the United players they're just not up to playing for Man United, particularly at home. The time to judge a player when I was at United, and Alex Ferguson always mentioned, when you're judging the players, how they can cope with playing in front of 70, 75,000. When you're under the cosh, and Man United are under the cosh today in the first half, which is fine, but you stay in the fight. This team doesn't stay in the fight. You go in a half-time 1-0 down. Listen, it's not ideal, but you regroup as a team. You're on the ropes, but you got to keep swinging. But this team doesn't. This team almost says, we're up against it, we haven't got the quality. And I wouldn't say they throw the towel in, because that's really it's tough to throw that at any team. But they just don't have that desire and fight to stay in the fight. You got to stay in there. I've played with really good players here at Man United. The amount of times we just hung in there and ended up getting a kind of a late goal or late equaliser, and you show your quality, but they're not showing. This team doesn't have what I would use personality. They talk about during the week United, and they're trying things. I'm sure they're a decent group, and they go for lunch and all this type of thing. But it's what happens when the referee blows the whistle. And there's one yellow card for Man United today. I think it was for Ronaldo. Now, I'm not saying go out and get 7, 8 yellow cards. That doesn't win you football matches. But it is a derby game. You have to show your quality, but you do have to show some sort of emotion in the game. Go and close somebody down. I've often had it where I've not been at the races in the game, but I go, do you know what I might do is I might smash into somebody just to make me feel better. And sometimes it gets a reaction from the other players or the fans. Actually, no, I'd like to go in hard.
I love Roy Keane. He's like, I mean, sir, I can't follow that up. Feels
need
bad
him on
for
the pod.
Sir, it's like
need him on the.
Sorry,
pod,
we need him in the dressing room. We need him in the dressing room because this team lacks heart.
You can't because he's too crazy.
No, half the team would leave.
He scares him. What do you think Sir,
he's too hard for the modern era, sir.
Fred could go running. He'd be like kicking Fred.
What's the transfer value of Fred? £5 million, bro. He's like one of the biggest busts since Paul Pogba.
Oh yeah, I know. It's feeling sorry for him is right. Yeah, and some of them aren't meant to be playing at Manchester United. And I think that's. I also like how he says the manager judged you how you played in front of 75,000 at home, right? Because that's when you're up against it. It's like, that's when the pressure's on, and when the pressure's on, this team, they fold like a wet noodle. And that's why our home form is poor and our away form is good. It's because they can't handle it. They can't handle the pressure. And either you're going to wilt, sir, or you're going to shine. And
can't handle it. Can't handle it. I tell you what, we can't handle much.
Up
You
and
feel
down,
bad for you feel bad for the
Yeah.
players. You feel bad for the manager, sir. You feel bad. I'm telling you, I feel bad for Ole now. It's like just
Sir,
put him
like-
out of his misery, bro. Put us out of our misery.
dude. The Harry Maguire captaincy is another error.
No, it's gotta.
Right? You know, like
that's
that
gotta
was a big
change.
mistake.
They gotta
I was
do.
surprised at that. I was very surprised at that one. He doesn't know Manchester United. Where he just came in, he gave him the arm. Ole gave him the armband. You know, you got to give it to a more senior player, like even like a Mata. Obviously Mata's got to play, but it's like
De Gea,
somebody who De Gea
Rashford,
has to be De Gea, right?
Bruno.
Has to be. De Gea's won the league with United. Has to be De Gea.
He looked like the only leader on the pitch today, sir.
Exactly.
I mean, Ronaldo was trying, but we can't really press as well as we used to without Ronaldo. That's probably one of the reasons we're not nearly as good as playing the kind of smash and grab football that was kind of like how Ole made, how he got his bread buttered, bro. That's like how he got the job, was being able to counter these teams. And today we look, sir, it was bad, sir. I got nothing, bro. That game, I don't want to talk about that game anymore. I had to watch it. We had to wake up, sir. I was like, you watch it, I'll watch it. I could fall asleep that fucking game.
That second half, especially. Sir, you want to tell us about the table? Obviously, I don't check it.
It's getting uglier every week. Chelsea, they're top of the table. They have a game in hand. They're 25 points. City hop up to second, 23 points. Scousmasters in third. Also, everyone has games to be played. They're 22. West Ham in front of us on 20. And then we're at fifth with 17. Right on our heels, Arsenal with 17 points, who also have a game to play. Everyone else does. Right below us. Wolves at 16. Brighton at 16. So they're coming. Those teams are coming. We're going to not be in fifth by the end of the weekend. Hey, top four still up for grabs. League is gone. Already done. We're already out of the league.
Sir, I'll give you a few numbers off the table here.
Let's go.
I'm not looking at the points or whatever.
The goal
Chelsea-
differential. How about the goal
No, no, no,
differential?
no.
Yeah. There you
No,
go.
hold on. Don't get too excited. Hold on. Chelsea goals against 3.
I know.
Man City goals against 6. Liverpool goals against 8. Manchester United 17 goals against. Sir, if you
Highest in
add
the
up-
top 10. Highest in the top 10.
I know. If you add up Chelsea, Shitty, and Liverpool, you get 17 goals. We've conceded as many goals as the top 3 teams in the league combined. And those teams are there because they have a good defense. They don't concede. And it's like we are conceding goals like boatloads. We're shipping goals, or like Amazon Prime shipping goals for like we are like
Overnight
for
delivery.
free. For free overnight. It was same day delivery for free. We're shipping goals. It's just like, and that is a damning indictment of this coach, this back line, everything in between. Sir, your captain is the head of the defense. You're shipping goals like that, and ultimately defense wins championships. Chelsea 3 goals against that will win them the title. That will win them the title.
No, they're going to win the title because their defense is
The
so good.
Scousmasters won the title. Why? Defense, dude. They win with defense. They're cheap at the back, and then they're able to get their strikers to bail them out in key spots late in games. We know this. We've done it, sir. And it's like, and you want to say league gone? You can't win the league shipping that many goals.
Oh, you're right. We ain't winning the league, sir. I was wrong about
That was your
that.
prediction.
Yeah, I know. You said we were going to win the Champions League. We probably arguably
Just-
could not even get out of the group, so we maybe winning the Europa League. Zidane's taking us to the promised land, and Gdansk can't wait to go back, baby. We're going to lift it. So I got nothing. We're free fall, sir. We're in free fall.
Okay, here's the real ticket. The real ticket is we got international break coming up, and then after that we got Watford.
Radio
Sir.
Watford. They got to give Ole another chance, turn it around at Watford.
Watford away, sir.
Been there.
It's a McFred with cheese all day.
Yeah, right. Sweet.
And we've had some cheeseburgers up in Watford. They're very good.
Very
Watford
good.
was great. That was a great stadium. Great.
Great town.
It's like, what was it, 40-minute train from London?
It's like
even
a suburb of
shorter.
London.
I think we saw them in the Premier League. They're back. Obviously, they got relegated. Then we're doing Villarreal away.
Big game. Big game. Unai
Chelsea
Emery
away.
special. It's Chelsea away. Ooh. Oh, it's going to be bad.
Arsenal at home, Palace at home, and then Young Boys at home.
Dude, that's some hard games, sir. Because Palace
No,
are
but
on the up. Arsenal are on the up. Watford are shit, but we're shit.
No, but here's the deal. Watford are bad. You can easily beat them away. Ole can do that. And then Ole can play like shit and win against Villarreal. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Maybe.
got that whole like play
Maybe.
poorly and win thing going. or like get a key draw. So do you dismiss, obviously, Eddie Five Fingers Woodward.
Four fingers. He's only got, he's missing
Woodward. I
one,
don't know.
bro.
Why does he have four fingers?
Because he's like he's sold a finger, bro. He's that cheap.
He could be looking at those games to be like, Ole can get some points.
Yeah. Like, we still got a chance for fourth. We can,
And
we can be Watford.
all we have to do is just take the battering from Chelsea and then Arsenal, and then we're back to Palace and Young Boys, and then it's all good. So if you didn't sack the manager after Liverpool, and then he won and then drew, and we're still in it on the Champions League, and obviously City are a better side, and we didn't lose as poorly as Liverpool. Like, obviously as fans, we know it was bad, right? But I'm thinking from like Woodward, I'm trying to put myself in his like crazy town.
Yeah, they're gonna see the 2-0 and be like, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're like, okay, we lost embarrassingly and fans left. Then you beat Tottenham. Then you draw Atalanta, which was a big result. And then you kind of lose by only 2 at home. And not that many fans left. Not that many fans left.
Some fans left.
Some did, yes. But you're like, okay, well, that seems to be an improvement, right? Wouldn't you say? Like, from Ed Woodward's perspective. So then he's just like, okay, well, we got international break. We can calm down. And then we can beat Watford. We can try to get a result against Villarreal. And then, take the lashes with those next 2 and then back to business. So I could really see Ed Woodward looking at these games and keeping Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because ultimately you have to understand how dumb they are. Is you have to sack him against Liverpool because the only manager that's available that makes sense was Conte, right? Apparently Zidane was out. And then, okay, Conte's the only one who can do something now. So who can do something this season, like the next 8 months? And that was Conte. So if there's no Conte and Zidane doesn't want the job, then what are your options? You can't get Ten Hag until the end of the season. You can't get Brendan Rodgers till the end of the season unless you pay out, insane amounts of money, which the Glazers don't want to do. They already did that.
Nor should they do.
Nor should you, right? So then it becomes interim, and they'd be like, is interim better than Ole? Well, clearly for me, yes. But then who's the interim? It can't be, you can go down the list.
Big decisions to be made.
Giggs is in trouble. Can't be Giggs.
Can't be Giggs. He ain't in the front office. What is that feeling? Get feeling and go. Who cares?
No, those guys got the whole
I know.
coaching
You
staff
need a change, dude.
So then who is going to do it? And then they have no idea. And
Big decisions.
So then the whole thing is, if there's nobody else, do they just ride this train?
Crazy train?
Because he beat Tottenham, so he's going to beat Watford.
Beat Tottenham.
So we Atalanta, he's going to draw.
Lose to Watford.
From their perspective, they're just thinking about, like, there are no other options, and they balked at Conte because Conte represented, like, win now. Like, he's the Mourinho guy. Like, they're going to have to deal with another crazy guy in the press. They're not going to be able to pull the strings, so they're going to be like, we can pull the strings and just ride out the storm, which ultimately might be what they do. I don't think, like, I just read on per the BBC, it says pressure on Solskjaer has increased. I don't know what the hell that means, but that's from our boy Simon Stone, most likely. I just saw it retweeted, so if it's wrong, don't kill me. So, I mean, now you're kind of in no man's land because there's not a replacement. And when there's not a replacement, it's almost like you stick with Ole from their perspective because you get all the benefit of weathering the storm, and then you don't have to worry about a wild card like Conte coming in because he already left. So the real error, like we talked about, is not making the move when you should have. And then now you're kind of double fucked because you need to get rid of him and there's no one to replace him. And like you seem to think there is somebody out there, but realistically, the only person who could try to win you something this season would be like a Conte. Anyone else is just kind of,
sir, I'm not assuming.
Best case scenario is top 4. Best case scenario would be top 4 if you hired, you say you brought a Nicky Butt or like think of somebody like that. You know what I'm saying?
Sir, they're going to face a situation where we're likely going to be like 7th place by the end of the weekend, right? Arsenal can hop above us, Wolves, Brighton, and Spurs. Everton could be close actually if they win their game big. Actually, which they might have lost. I don't even know. But like you said, sir, there's probably if they couldn't make the obvious choices, right? There's 2. Say Zidane was not available, Conte was obviously available. Then they're obviously not going to make like the miracle choices, like picking some coach I've never heard of who's an up and comer, or pulling off one of the names that you mentioned. Right, the Ajax coach would probably be a good fit, but he's not going to move now. Are
But
they
even
going to
like
weather the
Eddie
storm?
Howe-
But you're
even Eddie Howe's going to Newcastle. You know what I'm saying? Like an Eddie Howe just for the rest of the season.
Eddie
could've
Howe
been.
wouldn't be he's
You know,
he's like
like
punched above his weight, sir. I would be like more inclined to
No,
an
he's
Eddie
round
Howe
at
than some.
Bournemouth. That Bournemouth, he didn't do well at Bournemouth. He got sacked.
We need a big time manager, bro. We have
he's
Ronaldo.
somebody. No, but I'm saying you could maybe convince an Eddie Howe to come in for the end of the year. Like you need somebody who's competent with the Premier League. Somebody, he's better than like
Big Sam.
Like-
what are we getting, Big Sam, bro?
fuck me, mate. I mean,
I'm telling you,
honestly,
we're like not that.
I got nothing.
Sir, we're
Sir,
hurting,
we're out
bro.
of it.
We're hurting. We need to change. We need to change now. This is a great time to do it. International break. These are hard games coming up. I don't
All
care what you
eyes on
say,
the
sir.
board,
These are hard
bro.
games. Arsenal are playing better than I want to admit. So are Palace. Chelsea are fucking cruising. They're like the best team in the league by far because their defense is, like you said, it's probably one of the best in the world at the moment. They got Conte. They got good center backs. They got a great goalie. And they got a very solid coach, better than I like to admit for sure. But he's clearly shown that he's a great coach, sir. I love that like PSG fired him and brought in Pochettino, who I think is one of the biggest chumps of all time. Because he's like Ole, bro. He bottled it at PSG. They didn't even win the league last year.
No, but this is the whole point of that.
They could maybe
that
get him,
man-
sir.
no,
Maybe they get Poch.
no, but the managerial appointment of Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea is like Chelsea arguably fired Frank before this.
Oh,
You
they
understand?
did.
So, like,
Oh, they did.
So if you look at when Frank Lampard was fired, it kind of came out of the blue, and it was almost undeserved. Like fans were kind of like Chelsea fans were kind of surprised. They were
No, it
taken
was like a
aback.
month ago. It was like a month ago. It was like
No,
this.
It was like Aston Villa.
Yeah, it was like exactly. It was like
it would be
pre-Liverpool loss.
It was like I think Aston Villa in the international break, right? It was like Aston Villa, we lose and we just haven't looked good, and they invested all this money, and then this other manager like Conte really wants a job. You like preemptively sack Ole because he's just not getting enough, and you bring in this like world class manager. The opposite of the Glazers is like they don't know what the fuck they're doing, so they don't know that they need to act by what talent is available, because then that talent might not be available. As soon as Tuchel was available, Lampard was out, and they were negotiating. They probably negotiated the deal. They had Tuchel lined up to go and just say, "Hey, we're gonna wait for him to lose a game, and then you're in."
Yeah,
It's
totally.
because they're just looking. Chelsea's looking to get a top manager in ASAP. Now we don't need to be Chelsea, but the Glazers are doing the opposite, where they're just like riding Ole into the ground, and then they're looking, and then no one's available, and so there is a little element of like who is available and how fast you need to act. And clearly, the board are clueless here. They have no plan B. They're not thinking about winning anything. They're not thinking about next season. And you look at that Chelsea move that won them the Champions League. I mean, holy shit! We've won 3 Champions Leagues, bro. It's like, come on, we need some ambition. We need to be making moves. We need a plan B. We need something. And the clue, like just meandering cluelessly through this first half of the season. It's some of the most incompetent management of a football club I've ever seen. It's just like, we got to move on from the under, sir.
Sir, I say it all the time. We're one of the worst run clubs in the world. Barcelona maybe just a nose ahead of us just because of the debt they have. And we got a shit ton of debt still have. So this has been the same
They
shit.
just brought back
This has
their
been
Ole.
the same thing since 2008, sir. They showed their true colors and they sold Ronaldo for 80 fucking million pounds and paid 12 for a bunch of ragtag players that weren't nearly good enough. And dude, and they bought a bunch of shit and sold us that it was flowers. And ever since that, it's been the same thing, bro. It's like they held Fergie back. I guarantee Fergie left earlier because they weren't investing. They didn't want to buy Aguero. They didn't want to buy Hazard. They didn't want to buy fucking RVP. He had to stomp his feet for them to buy RVP, sir. And then they only started spending when we were just in like complete free fall, and they threw money at it poorly. We've spent so badly, sir. So badly. Ed Woodward's talking about his legacy, sir. He bought a player for 90 million fucking pounds that already left out for free. He's going to leave for free again, sir. And he's going to laugh on the way out. And he thinks his legacy is going to like be salvaged by turning the Ole project good. Sir, it's gone bad. he'll still be a player legend, and you know what? He'll have a positive impact as a manager. But like you're making it so much worse for everybody, for the club, for the players, for the manager. Just like get him out. But like you said, they ain't paying attention. They think they can ride it. Watford. Sorry, is he the manager for Watford? Probably.
Our insider on Discord says he's out.
Yeah, he said that after the Liverpool game though too.
I know, but I could have. Sorry, probably hears a lot of things from a lot of different people. He says he's out, interim most likely. So again, be careful what you wish for here. Obviously, and I honestly think after watching that, anything's better.
You have to have it. You have to.
It's over. Then you'll get that Ole bounce. He came in. So yeah, right now is the dead cat bounce. Tottenham was
the dead cat bounce. Now we're just rolling, sir.
Now we're just rolling. So let's get into the news. United in the news. Sir, starting off the news, I went from anger, depression, acceptance. Somehow it got me back into anger today, that performance. I do not know how. I just think it's just so clear things are over. So you know what? I have some improvements to do on my acceptance factor. I have to accept this board is shit.
Board is shit, sir. It's the board, dude.
And hope that the Express knows what they're talking about. Manchester United job seems to spark Zinedine Zidane. Zizou U-turn with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer under pressure. Zidane might want the job at Manchester United, sir. Who do we know to how
who do we know? Who do we know in the France crew? El Espanol reporting it via the Express. So the Express is a rag. El Espanol never heard of them, sir, but I'm looking for any good news I can get. And like you said, if you're choosing replacing managers based on the availability of big-time managers, there are two that we talked about. You know, I think you and I both agree on the preference. You let one go. That's more of the Mourinho mold. This is the one that I think most people want. I know fans, when I was leaving Old Trafford after the Scouser thump, we're talking about this man, his bald head, sir. He ain't no bald fraud. Sir, I would be like ecstatic, but I don't think he wants to sign up with the Glazers. I think they know, dude. Anyone that's in the football world and the football world only knows like which clubs are run well and which clubs are not run well. So I think that's
no, of course. But here's the deal: like he could just come in and say, "Hey, I'm just going to be here at the end of the year. I'm not going to be a permanent manager. I'm just going to."
But why would he do that?
Because optics are 4D chess. The whole idea would be like, "Hey, like I'm going to come in just." Manage it this season, pay him a ton of money. Like the team is what it is. They don't have to worry about the board. He doesn't have to worry about transfers. He doesn't have to worry about anything. And it's all on how well he can play. And if he does really well, then they might sign, might extend. That's kind of the idea, so that there wouldn't be a lot of pressure on him for results. He can come in, do his thing, sign him to like a 3-year deal, adds a lot of pressure, etc. So
you have like a $20 million rolling contract.
He wants to coach France. So,
but Deschamps not going anywhere. I think that's why he might be interested in United.
I think the next World Cup might be the last one for Deschamps. So,
which would make sense. But how long is Zidane's reign going to be at this club? What's the average over the last 4? So like 2.25?
No, but I'm saying we just like instead of thinking like who's our next manager, because the only one that could possibly do it that's worth any and available is him. We need to be thinking about what is the best interim manager that we could have. And the best interim manager would be Zidane. And the one thing holding him back from being the actual manager is the fact he wants to manage France. So I think we should be in the position to like negotiate with him to be like, hey, just come in right now, help us out, do us a solid and then see where it goes type of thing. Because if they sack Ole, be careful what you wish for. Ed Woodward's picking it.
I know.
Ed Woodward picked Ole to be the interim manager. Ed Woodward gave Ole the job before he made top 4. After he gave Ole the job, he tanked, missed top 4. Any businessman worth his salt knows you do not give him the job. No matter how much the fans clamor for it, you don't give him the job until he proves the results and earns top 4 mathematically on the pitch. That is how you have to do it. I mean, no one else wants Ole. There's no pressure from anyone else other than the numpties, which is you and me. You have to wait for him to play out the whole season, then give him the deal. He did not do that. And that was the biggest mistake. Again, that's on Ed Woodward. That's all. It's always been on Ed Woodward. He's in this position. He resigned. He's still here. He's going to fuck this up too.
Oh, no doubt.
So if you think Ole and all this shit sucks, wait till they appoint the next guy.
Sir, Brendan Rodgers, bro.
Prove me wrong.
Imagine
bro.
if we waited the whole year to
14
appoint
million
Brendan
for
Rodgers.
Brendan
like,
Rodgers, apparently 14 million to
14
buy him out.
Buy out the Ajax, dude. Buy out a good manager. It's just, sir, it's too predictable. Of course, they're gonna pick some yes man English manager who would just
The
be-
Ajax manager is the man for the job.
No, he would be great. He'd be great. You know what? The real coup would be getting him and Van der Sar, bro. Put a real front office in, but you know what? They're not trying to put a real front office in, sir. How the fans? Are the fans in a good mood or a bad mood, sir? What's
Let's
the
get into fan questions, sir.
what's the temperature? I know the
First-
Ole is basically broiling, bro. He's just like cooked. He's done, dude. Take him out of the oven. Poor guy.
Broiling. Shout out to all the fans who tweet us. You guys have so many good responses and tweets. I wish we could read them all. We try to pick the best ones. But again, thanks for everything, because like some of these tweets are absolutely hysterical. Some are just sad as well. They hurt. At Beebs, UNF, 8 losses at Old Trafford in the calendar year. 8. We are bored waiting for Ole. Are the board waiting for Ole to die of old age? We never even looked like we cared. Man City never even got going. We had more shots on our own keeper than we had on theirs. The players haven't got a clear idea what to do.
That is the most ridiculous stat because it is true. We had more shots on our own target, on our own goal than we had on theirs. So it was brutal. We talked about it like we had a 20-minute intro before the intro because this was another historic beatdown, sir. With
It's like plan meets no plan. Like, you know, like
Yeah,
even
yeah.
in
drilled meets undrilled.
no, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like in life, it's like in business, if you're competing with somebody in anything, you know, that looks like somebody has a plan and they're executing it well. And then somebody doesn't have a plan and that like are a horrible plan and they're executing it poorly. That was just like, that's a case study. So that could go to Harvard. Just like these players know exactly what the other players are going to do. They move the ball very quickly.
I know. I watched. It's so
just- it
true.
was
It's so
just like-
true. It's night and day, bro. Boys versus men. You know, that's what Scalzi said twice. That was Keane, not Scalzi. Keane said twice, and he was right, sir. It's like it was boys versus men. Same with Liverpool. It's like we look like a different class. We look like a mid-table team, bro.
At Mike United Mets, again, he's usually glass half full here. I'm trying to bring in some glass half full takes, see where they're at today. Quote, disappointing result, but not a surprise. City broke the transfer record for Grealish and didn't even play him in this game. Until we have owners that are willing to invest properly, it'll always be difficult. Let's hope we fix this team up over international break. Hashtag Glazers out. Sir, that is the best point. I mean, I was going to bring this up and it escaped me. It's just like the fact that there's international break and Grealish isn't even playing. You know, it's like, it's almost like an insult. Because like he just knew that we were just so easy to get at that you don't even need that threat of Grealish on the
Did he
wing.
make? I don't think he made a sub, sir.
I don't recall.
I think he's
So-
he's like these teams. Our team's just cruising, bro. They were
And we had an
cruising.
extra day of rest.
So we look like we looked out of sorts.
At Karthik Vansan, quote, how about a section of the podcast called "Come Up with Your Own United Players Post-Match Tweet"? I'll start. Not the result we wanted, but I promise you we'll come back stronger because we are united. It's like, I'll tell you how the whole like Rashford tweeting after the Liverpool loss. Like, I'm really sorry, guys. I love Marcus.
Sir, I know.
It's just like
Sir.
things that make you
free
look
fall, bro.
bad. Like this, like as a player, your brand, things that make you look bad, apologizing to fans of social media. This club, things that make you look bad, fans leaving the ground in droves at the 60th minute against Liverpool. Trotting out your manager like there ain't no thing or there ain't no problem in pressers and like having press, like it's just a bad look. It's like bad for the brand. It's really bad for the brand. At Thanicus Maximus, quote, I wish I could be this terrible at my job and get paid as much money as everyone at this club. It's absolutely ridiculous. Hashtag Glazers out, sir. Hashtag Ole out. It is true. It is true. The how bad of a job every single person is doing up and down that chain and how much money they're making and then how much they try to like spin and brush off like valid criticism is also insane. It's like that is really perplexing to me.
No, they don't want it. This is why we continue to stagnate and suffer is because like Glazers are not real footballing people, or they don't have to be, right? It's not like you just have the intent to win. You have the intent to do well. Like you could say, I don't want to use them as a comp, but they're a good comp because it makes sense if you think about like the last 10 years and the difference in front office. It's like the Scouse Bastards, bro. They put money men in, but they put money men in that were smart enough to know what they didn't know, sir. And these guys just like think they know everything and actually don't ask Ed Woodward any tough questions. Don't hold him accountable, right? He has failed over and over and over again. Like one of the biggest failures of a CEO in sport, you could argue. Honestly.
Yeah, and he gives softball interviews to like select journalists who
Barely.
then go along. No, I know they don't ask him about the financials. They don't ask him about the trophy ambitions. Like they basically let him trot out his whole like Ed Woodward propaganda. Him and Neil Ashton probably writes the answers. He never even like sits down for an actual like video interview. It's all like written behind the scenes. And then he has these same guys ask Ole like really pro Ole questions in pressers to make everything look like it's rose tinted glasses here. And it's like, dude, you can see through all the bullshit. And this is cultural at a company that comes from the top. Ed Woodward, it literally comes from the top. How they present their earning calls, how they like we get all the press releases. They're like, hey, we have the most fans on like TikTok. Like, hey, we're getting fucking smoked by every rival we have in the Premier League. We don't give a shit about TikTok.
Sir, Glazers out. Glazers out never ends at the American Red Devils. The Glazer out sale never ends because that's
by
why.
the way, that was a penalty for sure as well.
Of course,
on
of
Tellus,
course, of
and
course.
VAR is even on the Ole's like soul to soul to the devil. Unbelievable. The fact that we got away with that one too was
Sir, they should have. It could have been 5-0. De Gea would have saved it, sir.
Sir, my voice is going. Last tweet here at Greg's Zingarelli. Quote, enough forward talent to play a 4-3-3, but our defense is so fragile. They need extra center back and 2 CDMs. City weren't even playing well. We just played shit enough for them. Used to be Ole in, but not after these last 4 games. Wake me up when we find a new manager to lead this team.
That's a good one to close it on, sir. We're going on 75 minutes of.
Only in sex masochism. Then it is allowed.
That was 75 minutes of sex masochism, sir. Just like pure brutality. This has been brutal. Last 4 games, last 4 weeks, last 4 months. Ever since the Gdansk final, it's all been like kind of written on the wall. Like Ole lost faith in himself. The players lost faith in the team. The team got too good. I don't know what it is. The team doesn't have any hot. It needs a whole reboot. We need a new manager, new front office. We're not going to get that. But you need a new manager, new coaching staff, and probably a new captain, and probably some new players, and some dead wood that hasn't been moved out even still, sir. We apparently were going to get like a CDM, but couldn't get him because we had Phil Jones,
Sir,
Lingard.
It was over when he wore the Nagelsmann
I know. The
leprechaun
suit.
suit
I know.
to the Europa League final.
That final was
It's
the
like,
death nail.
Nagelsmann showed up in a fancy suit and he got
smoked.
And we smoked him, right? And remember when he beat us, he wasn't wearing no suit.
No, it's true.
And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I mean, like it goes back to the FA Cup with the Scouse Bastards, Sir Alex Ferguson. They wore those white suits. He said we beat him before he came on the pitch. The history of this club, it's written, it's laid bare. It's like Ole wears this like fancy ass suit.
I know.
Never wears it. He wears that black jacket with the white Manchester United badge.
Yep.
Red tie. It's like you got it. It's like sir.
Keep it simple.
It's
Keep it
crazy
simple.
how those things matter.
No,
It's
they
like,
do
it's
matter.
so funny. Like in the history books, it'll be like Ole wearing that suit.
Because Nagelsmann the same
like
season
it.
got
It's
smoked
over.
in that
It's
stupid
like-
suit. It's true.
And it's like, and that will be the. And you're right. That was it.
That was it. That was the beginning of the end, sir. And we should have been put out our misery a couple weeks ago. We should put out our misery this weekend.
He wanted to look fancy in the photos when he lifted that trophy.
Yeah, sir. Well, how'd that work out? Sir, let's go to the U.S. men's national team, sir. Are they going to play well?
I think so, sir. We got some exciting matches here. Again, international break, World Cup qualifying. We'll be covering it. We're going to be dropping a U.S. men's national team takeover podcast this week, trying to get our U.S. men's national team expert Miguel online. But as a father of twins, sir, you know it's kind of hectic. It is busy to get away. It might just be me and Alex. We will keep you guys posted. But we got Mexico Friday, November 12th, 6:10 p.m. That will be an exciting match, sir.
Love it.
Absolutely love that. You know, you play Mexico at home first time, sir. We got a lot of bad blood. That would be a great result. We beat them in the Nations League and the Gold Cup. So, you know, we absolutely own them this summer. World Cup qualifying. This is kind of everything on the line. Plus, it's at home. Big game, sir. You got to be watching that one. And then we're going to be playing Jamaica away Tuesday, November 16th at 2 p.m. So just 2 games, but 2 important ones, sir, with the big, exciting one on Friday. And we'll be dropping that U.S. men's national team takeover midweek, going through the roster, etc., and previewing these matches. Sir, the U.S. is in good position here, qualifying for the World Cup. And, you know, since we missed out on the last one, this is really important that we make it. Couldn't be more pumped for World Cup qualifying. A little respite from this train that's crashing in slow motion. I'm sure we're going to hear all about it during international break. If he's not out by Wednesday, he's in. He's staying.
No, for sure. They should be already like talking about it all weekend. If it's not, you'll know. You'll know by tomorrow if they're actually going to move or not. And probably not.
It's
so
Monday. You know,
but like there'll be like the headwinds ahead of the decision being made on Monday. But like it's going to start turning pretty quickly. Like because even when they eventually do make a decision, then they'll start throwing them like even like the Stooges, right? The United Press Stooges will like throw them out the door, sir. Unfortunately, so we'll see.
Yep. No. And you want to talk about like our defense being scrambled eggs? The boardroom scrambled eggs.
Oh
Like they're incapable of making this type of decision. It could take them. You know, Ole should be out ASAP, and then they should be figuring it out. But the fact that they're just probably gonna drag their feet is maybe like Thursday. It'll be something like stupid. They'll just take day late, dollar short, and everything. And you know, when it starts like that at the top, man, it trickles all the way down. Like you said, Malcolm Glazer bought the club. Now it's literally structured as a trust fund on the New York Stock Exchange for his billionaire kids who ain't never done nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
Like, they don't know a clue. They probably don't even watch Manchester United. They don't even know like the rules of the game. They're completely clueless. And they view this totally as sort of as a trust fund. They sell the shares on the stock exchange like a trust fund. I don't understand why they just wouldn't sell it. The amount of money they're each going to get, they're each going to pull out $500 million. Why don't you just sell it, each cash out $500 million, and just move on? I mean, there's no reason to like run the club into the ground. Like one of the probably the greatest sporting institution in
sport,
in history, in like, and they just don't care for it. Why not just like take your $500 million and just like move on? Like,
you know why?
It just doesn't make any sense. And they need the liquidity because they're selling the shares on the New York Stock Exchange because they want to do things like they're getting up there like mid 60s. Like it's like, come on.
So you know why? You know why they're not ready to take $500 million each? Because they want $1 billion each. Because have you met these people that are just greedy motherfuckers? You know, they're greedy, bro. You've seen it since the day they came in, how they bought the club, how they structured it, decisions they made.
I think they'll sell it in the next
No, they
5
will
years.
sell it, but I think they want to maximize the amount of money they take out. That's all they care about. It's purely based on money.
But if you realize, and this is what fans should understand with hashtag Glazers out, is that making it tough for them to own this football team will make them sell it because they already are selling shares. They already want the money. Think about it. If your father bequeathed you $500 million and it was like locked up in this football team that you don't care for, and you're 60 years old, like, dude, they want the money. COVID was like, they're just looking for the right buyer. COVID was a problem. They're going to sell the club. And the louder the fans are against this ownership and against that Muppet Ed Woodward, the faster they will sell it. Not like tomorrow, not next week, but like 2 to 3 years. Like their sale timeline is probably 5. It will get faster. The harder we make it for them, the more unpleasant we make it for them, the more the press are going up to them in Florida, they will sell this football club. They do not care about it. And that's why we got to get them the hell out, sir.
Sir, that's how you end it, baby.
That's the podcast, America Red Devils. Spicy one, sir.
They always are.
For fans, by fans, support the podcast. Check us out on Patreon, www.patreon.com/America Red Devils. Check out our website, www.americareddevils.com. Click on store, hashtag Glazers Out Sale. Always write a review on iTunes or give them the top downloads last 7 days.
Number 1, how you doing? Charlotte, North Carolina. Appreciate you. Hinton, Canada. Houston, Texas. Mandel, Norway. Oh, we went too far. We've got Philadelphia, PA, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Gurgaon, India. How you doing? Oslo, Norway, Derby, UK, and Lake Oswego, Oregon. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do it
We'll
without
be
you.
back, sir. We're coming back.
It's
United
all
is
right.
gonna come
It's
back.
all-
We're
it's
coming back. We're
it's
not going
always
anywhere.
darkest before the
America-
dawn,
sir, we're not going
etc.
anywhere.
They'll never die. This is the greatest
we're not
football
going
club in the
anywhere,
world,
bro.
sir. America Red Devils, for fans, by fans, will never stop because you'll never stop, and this club will never stop. Glazers will be out eventually. This club's history has had its share of Glazers, unfortunately. And you know what? They always lead to the decay, and then eventually they get out. Someone new comes in, and a steward takes this club back to the promised land. It has happened time and again. It will happen again. It's just how long are we going to wait before the next steward of this club appreciates what they got, appreciates what they own, dude, and takes the right steps to bring us back where we belong.
Hear ye, hear ye. Let's go. Everyone have a great week. U.S. men's national team take over this week, sir. Take us out.